beautiful people. If you are new here, my name is Bimbo. I am an educator. I am a sister, a friend, and most recently, I am a newlywed. So I am currently in the process of making these videos about how to make your wedding the most spectacular wedding ever. And this video is one I really have been wanting to do, how to find your makeup artist, and kind of maybe a secret way that you hadn't thought of. But I'm sure most of you guys actually use this every single day. So if you clicked on this video, you are in the right place if you want to know more about how to find your makeup artist. So I'm going to share with you a couple of ways that you may have not thought of to find your wedding makeup artist, particularly for bridal makeup. And then I'm going to share with you 3 things to make sure you do as you're interacting with someone who you could potentially hire to do your makeup on your wedding day. So the 2 ways you may not have thought of, so let's say you're getting ready to get married, you're on all these wedding websites. There's Zola, there's The Knot, there's Wedding Wire, and all of these websites allow you to search, kind of like Google, for vendors. A lot of them do actually list the vendor prices. Now, what I found was, even though those websites were good for some other searches for vendors, they weren't great for me trying to find someone to do makeup and hair. So here's the thing. We were getting married in a pretty large city, a couple hours from where I lived at the time. And all of those makeup artists that were based in that city were really expensive. And this is not knocking anyone who's a makeup artist or a hairstylist. Like, you guys do a lot. So I totally get it. But if you're like me and you're a bride who honestly, on average, I don't wear makeup that much, maybe on the weekends, but not very often. And yes, I want to look nice, but I don't want to spend $500 for my face alone. I had a little bit of digging to do. So the 2 ways you may not have thought of to find your wedding makeup artist as alternatives to these normal ways is, first of all, Facebook groups. So I was so excited when I got engaged because I joined all of these random Facebook groups that were just happily engaged, all these different things, brides in whatever state I was in, brides who are getting married in the year I'm getting married. So those were fun to be a part of. And like I said, if you've seen my video about things to do right when you're engaged, really live it up. Do anything you want to do. You don't have to. It might be overwhelming, but for me, it was fun to be part of a couple of groups that did that. So one thing I did was I did post, hey, I'm in search of ISO makeup artists in this area, okay? Now, that is one way that I know of other people who found their makeup artists, whether it's posting on a Facebook group that's specific to brides and weddings, or it's actually just posting on your own timeline, because if you are getting married in your area, you would be surprised. I found out after I started posting that I was engaged, someone actually reached out to me, not about makeup, but about florals. And so all I'm saying is you would be surprised to know who already in your network or friends of friends are in the wedding business. And not everyone's super vocal. Some people are just starting out. So first of all, don't sleep on Facebook. I know people are like, Facebook's for grandmas and who be on Facebook? No, I be on Facebook, okay? Maybe too much. Don't at me. Don't comment about that. Leave me alone. All right, so Facebook is a hidden gem. That is actually not how I found my makeup artist. The second secret way is how I found my makeup artist. Excuse my wonderfulness. The second way that you may not have thought of is actually Instagram. And so let me tell you my story. So originally, like I said, I was looking in the big city where, all these makeup artists are located. And I was just striking it out. The prices were way too high for what we had budgeted for. And so I started actually looking in my city, because what I realized was if I can find someone affordable in my city, not only can I do a trial run more easily, even with the travel costs, it may end up being cheaper. And the truth is, it actually ended up being cheaper. So I was looking at quotes in this larger city, and I think they came out to $500 or $600, which for me actually ended up being close to what it cost for me to get 5 people's makeup done with this other person, including my bridal makeup as well as my hair. So that's not everyone's experience, but so how do you use Instagram to find your makeup artist? I'm glad you asked. So what I would start by doing is Instagram has a search feature. Go on the search page and type in, either you can search by hashtag or you can just search by accounts. And I typed in, like, let's say, for example, you live in New York City, or let's say you live in Dallas, Texas. You type in Dallas makeup artist or Dallas wedding makeup artist, or, you know, same with New York City or Austin, Texas, or LA. And that pops up a lot of people. Guys, I had no idea. And the reason I preferred, let me tell you, like, the number one reason I preferred the Instagram method to the wedding websites is, I don't know if they have fixed this. So if they have, ignore this. But when I tried to search a lot of vendors on wedding websites, some vendors are not so forthcoming with their prices on wedding websites for whatever reason. I did not have that problem on Instagram. I click someone's profile, I go to their website, they immediately say, you know, it's $150 for a trial and $150 for wedding makeup, or like $80 for trial and $200 for wedding makeup. Like, for some reason, when makeup artists post on Instagram and they make their websites, it was a lot easier to find the information that I needed. And also, another great thing about Instagram is, whereas on a wedding website, you might have, like, I don't know, a few pictures. On Instagram, makeup artists, it seems like, are more consistently posting. And shout out to Mariana, you did an amazing job. I will be inserting pictures in this video because she did thebomb.com. I just felt like $1,000,000 in old Hollywood glamour. So, yeah, that's the thing, is they post pictures. Another thing is just, like, make sure you like their look. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like Instagram gives you the ability to determine whether or not you like their look. Okay, so these are 3 things to keep in mind as you're looking for a makeup artist. Okay, the first thing is this makeup artist just doing your makeup, or are they also doing your bridal party's makeup? The reason this is important is, one, for cost, of course, but also within that, trying to determine whether or not they're doing yours or your makeup or your whole bridal party. If your bridal party, like me, like we had in our wedding, is different complexions. Like, we had very white skin and we had very black skin, and all beautiful shades in between. And all of those shades were beautiful. My white friends were wonderful. My Asian friends in my wedding were wonderful. My black friends in my wedding were wonderful. Everyone looked great, but you have to realize, like, people have different skin tones. And I am the first to say, as someone who's been a forever bridesmaid in people's wedding, the worst thing is paying for your makeup, or even having the bride pay for your makeup, and you looking like a ghost. Because my sisters out there can testify, makeup companies have not really cared about black skin for a long time. And so I would always bring my own foundation, even if someone was doing my makeup. So the thing about searching on Instagram that's good for this number one point as you're looking for wedding artists or wedding makeup artists is, if you are getting your bridal party's makeup done, and if they happen to be a different skin tone than yours, or have just differences in their skin, you can actually see. And that's what I really loved about our makeup artist, is I saw she did people of different colors. And I was like, okay, and I like how they look. They don't look like ghosts. You know, this is great. So that's the first thing to keep in mind. The second thing to keep in mind with makeup artists is, do they have a minimum? Some makeup artists, if they are traveling, will not travel for less than an amount. So for example, like I said, if you are finding a makeup artist in a smaller town, that's fine and dandy, but they may not be just willing to come out just for the bride. Even if it's like, you know, $100 or $200, or it's cheaper than what you would get otherwise. They may have a minimum of, hey, we need to do at least 5 faces or things like that. So just make sure you keep that in mind. And the third thing I would say is, particularly for people with large bridal parties like we did, we had 13 bridesmaids in our bridal party. You might have to get multiple makeup artists, and that's okay as long as you have a very clear vision of the type of makeup you want. I had a Pinterest board for a Pinterest board. Like, I had so many Pinterest boards, but I knew that I wanted mine to be like a very dramatic Hollywood glam, and then I kind of wanted everyone else a little bit more like subdued Hollywood glam. So I had a very smoky eye. They all had a little subtler smoky eye. I had big Hollywood waves. They all had a side part and waves to one side. So I was very clear about, for makeup and hair, what I wanted. And if you go with the right artist, like if you've seen their stuff on Instagram, you've seen their pictures, you know they can execute, then it's probably better if you have a large party, I would say, to get at least 2 makeup artists. The reason being, our wedding started, I don't know, I don't remember our wedding start time now. I think it was like 1:30 in the afternoon. But we started getting ready at like 7 a.m. And that was with 2 makeup artists. So just keep that in mind, that if you are having a large bridal party, you really need to schedule in that time. All of that being said, my final thing to say, besides use Facebook, use Instagram, know if you want your bridesmaids in it, make sure that people can do all the complexions, check out their work, and also know if they have a minimum, things like that. The final piece of advice I would absolutely give is do a trial. Do a trial. I am so glad I did a trial. My trial went off without a hitch. I loved it. But one thing I realized in the trial, and I told her this the day of my wedding, I told her it before too, was I wanted more dramatic. Okay. I know there's some people who are like, on my wedding day, I want to look natural. Like that's how I rolled out of bed. No, boo boo. Not for me. I was like, I want people to know I'm wearing makeup. I had the most bodacious eyelashes on. I had the reddest lipstick. That was the look I wanted for me. If that's not the look you want for you, that's fine. But what we were able to discover in the trial, and I was like, on my wedding day, bring the sparkles. Like, we are not skimping on the sparkles on my eyes. Bring the lashes. We're not skimping on the lashes. We were going back and forth about the lip color we ended up doing, but I wanted a bold lip. I mean, everyone is different, but do the trial, because if you do your own makeup, unless you are like a YouTube guru or like a Sephora makeup artist or whatever, or a makeup artist, truth is you probably have no idea how you will look in real full makeup that is like supposed to be for photography. It feels heavier, it looks heavier like than what I normally wear. So do a makeup trial if you can. I know it's like, ugh, why should I pay this money? But I'm just the kind of person who wants to know how things are gonna turn out in the end. You know what I mean? So anyway, this was so fun, guys. It was so fun. So please comment below if you have any other wedding videos you want me to do. I'm so excited to do this series. This has been so much fun. And until next time, beautiful people, have a wonderful life. And we'll see you around. Bye-bye.